Hey, my name is Kathleen and today I'm bringing you some book reviews of children's books. The first book I'm going to talk about is Afgang, the Loserlijst book 3 by H.N. Kowitt. In English this is called the Loserlijst and book 3 is called Jinx of the Loser. And this book is about a boy who accidentally messes up the game of his school, a baseball game. It was a bit reminiscent of Diary of a Wimpy Kid in that, like, the way it's done and printed has illustrations and text with lines on it. So it reminded me a bit of that. This was a nice story, not that memorable. I'm filming this a few days after I've read this one and I just don't remember as much of it as I did when I had just finished it. There were two things about this book that didn't quite sit right with me. The first thing is that in this book, and it is a minor scene in the book, a dog is being given a burrito with extra garlic sauce, and you should not give dogs garlic. It is very toxic to them. So that scene also didn't really add that much to the book, so I think the author just didn't know that you shouldn't do that. But yeah, just as a dog lover, yeah. The other thing is that a Dutch word was mentioned in here that I think is similar to the English R word. This is the same word I was talking about in another recent video. I don't know what the original English was because this is translated from English. It's possible it is the R word, it's possible it's something else. But either way, I feel this word was not properly chosen. Other than that though, it was a nice story. I enjoyed it. Illustrations were nice. But yeah, not that memorable or anything, but it was an enjoyable reading experience. The next book I read was The Magische Apotheek by Ruhe. Oh, and the subtitle says hangt, geheim, lucht. This is translated from German. And in German this is Die Duftapotheke, book 1. Book 1 in Magische Apotheek. Ein Geheimnis, liegt in der Luft. It's probably possible I'm not pronouncing that properly. There are a few illustrations in this book, and this book is illustrated by Claudia Carls. This is a sort of magical story. It's about a girl who moves into this old house with her family. Her mother is really crazy about old things, and there are rumors that the house is haunted. So the beginning of the book reminded me more of like a ghost story, but that's not quite what it is. It has some magical elements as well. The library has put a fantasy logo on it, but it definitely does have like contemporary elements. It took me a while to get into this book actually because I didn't quite feel like reading when I started this, but I want to finish my library loans on time. But once I got into this book, the beginning, maybe it takes a while to get going. I find it very interesting about the characters and stuff, but like not a lot happens in the very beginning. But anyway, after that, when I got really into the book, it was really good. It was suspenseful. I enjoyed learning more about stuff. And also this cover is very pretty when you see it. I picked this up because I read a review of it on a Dutch blog with a person who said they really liked it. I apologize if I don't sound too excitable right now. I am feeling quite tired. I got up and had a shower and I feel even more tired than before I had a shower, which is something that doesn't usually happen. So I'm a bit sleepy, but I wanted to get this video done. So I really wanted to keep reading once I got into the book. And yeah, it was suspenseful, and this is actually book 1 in the series. So it says here that book 2 gets published in 2020, which is then the Dutch book 2. I don't know about the original German. The Dutch book was published in 2019, the original German is from 2018. I don't know if this has been translated into English or anything, but yeah, I'd love to read the second book and anything else if there's more in the series. I really enjoyed this. Yeah. The next book I read was The Chocolate Factory Ghost, book 1 in the Dundoodle Mysteries by David O'Connell with illustrations by Powell. Now my library doesn't have a huge English section, but they do have some English books for children, and so when I saw this I thought I should give it a go. It is about, you see the back here, it's about a boy who inherits this candy factory, and there are other people who are after all that. Oh, here is the map. So the McBudge factory is there. This reminded me a bit of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because there is also like a candy factory in this. It is kind of an adventure story, also a bit like detective-y, like a mystery, whimsical. It has some fantastical elements. I liked hearing about all the sweets. Every now and then there's an illustration. This one is a page wide, but there are also like some smaller ones. I like that. I found this a quite enjoyable story. According to Goodreads, this is book 1 in the Dundoodle mysteries, as it says here at the top as well. It doesn't say it's book 1, but I would be interested to see like what's gonna happen next. And yeah, the library also states this is book 1, and it was published in 2018. So I'd be curious to see what other Dundoodle mysteries are gonna happen. And yeah. So yeah, this was enjoyable. It was pretty good. Then the next 2 books I read were Nikki op Turnkamp and Gymroddels by Simone Kortsmit. This is book 1 in Turntoppers. This is book 3. It says here 3. I didn't see book 2 at the library, though I'm sure they probably have it. And these 2 books are about gymnastics. You can see here by the sports logo. Now in book 1, Nikki, she does gymnastics and she is going on a gymnastics camp. In Dutch we call that turnen, hence Turnkamp, Turntoppers. And things like items start to disappear on the camp, and it's a nice story that involves gymnastics and friendship. I really enjoyed that. What's special about this book, that if you download this app and then you can like make the pictures come to life, sort of thing. I didn't do that. I don't know if it still works or not. This book was published in 2014. I don't know if that still works or not, but I personally didn't do that. But it's nice that you can like see the movements, the exercises. I'm not sure what you call it, the things they do. So I thought that was a nice extra, even if I didn't. This was a nice read. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I'd love to read book 2. So hopefully the library will have that sometime. And Gymroddels is about Ling. And so the main character of this is also in this book. And the main character of this is also in this book. So it's about like the same group of friends, if that makes sense. In this book, we follow Ling. And her best friend moved to Singapore a while ago, and now she's back for like a vacation kind of thing. But her best friend, whose name is Sammy, doesn't have much time for Ling, and something's going on. I don't want to spoil too much. I thought this book was quite interesting. It was about gymnastics and friendship and also social media. So in that sense, I guess it doesn't date the book because it talks about like Facebook and WhatsApp and how Ling stayed in touch with Sammy while she was in Singapore, where she lives now. So, but yeah, this had a good serious note as well. Yeah, I like both of these. And then the last book that I'm here to talk about is The Astounding Broccoli Boy by Frank Cottrell Boyce, with illustrations by Stephen Lenton. Now, Amazon recommended this to me some time ago. Like, I remember seeing it. And then when I went to the library and I saw at their English children's and young adult section that they had this book in English, I was like, okay, I'll give that a go. It doesn't actually say on the back much what it is about. I think the original was maybe a hardcover or something, and then it's on the inside flap. Maybe, I don't know. But the library does have a little text there. This story is about Rory, and one day he suddenly turns green. That's pretty much the basic premise. So he is taken to the hospital, and yeah, things go on from there. Now this was a very interesting book. I thought it was an enjoyable story. I liked the illustrations. There's not a lot of them, but like every once in a while there's an illustration. Text is quite big. Rory is bullied. So there is a sort of a theme of bullying in this. There are also superhero things in this. I quite like the author's afterword in this, because in that the author talks about what the inspiration was for this story, and I found that really interesting to read about. It's kind of whimsical. It has some unrealistic elements. Not everything could happen like this, I feel. Yeah, it takes place in England. Yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. And the penguin, that will make sense as well if you read the story. The main character is mixed race, and there was another important side character who was a character of color. And so I like that we had some representation of that in here. It's not like hugely mentioned, but like here, for example, you have the doctors looking at Rory in the hospital, and I like that. Yeah, so there are some people of color in there, so I thought that was nice. Yeah, overall this was a nice read. Then we get to the end of the books I've read recently. They're not quite all in order, but never mind. Yeah, so those were some library loans I've read recently. I just got out of the shower, so my hair is maybe looking a little bit different than normal. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!